video is going to walk you through the process of applying to sit for the CPA exam in Texas. There are several steps and several organizations involved in the process. Throughout the video, I'll talk to you about how to file your application of intent, how to complete your eligibility application to sit for the CPA exam, discuss the fees that you will be paying, as well as the notice to schedule process and the actual scheduling of your CPA exam. Throughout this process, I will also be identifying several different organizations that you might come in contact with as you are going through the steps. The first organization is the Texas State Board of Public Accountancy. This is the state agency that actually issues your ultimate CPA license. NASBA is the National Association of State Boards of Accountancy, and this is the organization where you pay your money to in order to take a part of the CPA exam, and who will ultimately tell you your initial scores. And then Prometric. This is the company that provides the testing center and the locations where you will go take the CPA exam. A lot of the information in this process has either been pulled from the State Board's website or from the Candidate Bulletin. The AICPA issues this Candidate Bulletin, and it is published through the NASBA organization. I encourage all members who are sitting, or all candidates who are sitting for the CPA exam, to download this bulletin because it gives you lots of detailed information about the process and procedure. So let's get started. Let's talk about filing your application of intent. This is the starting point where the Texas State Board reviews your educational background. As part of filling out this application, you submit not only your transcripts from all universities and colleges attended, but a few other documents as well. You'll pay the State Board $20, and they will go through and review whether or not you are eligible to start taking the exam. Now, this process generally results in what we call a deficiency letter because not everybody is eligible right away. That is totally fine. The only thing you want to keep in mind, though, is you have 2 years from your initial application of intent filing to start the exam. That doesn't mean to pass or finish the exam, to just start it. When you send in your initial application of intent, the Texas State Board usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get back to you and provide you additional information. And as I said, a lot of people are filing these application of intents early, which is great. You want to know exactly where you stand along the process. So you're going to get back more than likely a deficiency letter. That just tells you what requirements you still need to meet in order to sit for the CPA exam in Texas. As you complete courses that you might need, you can email new transcripts to the Texas State Board. As you need other things, maybe the fingerprinting process or some additional paperwork, you can send those or complete those steps according to whatever information the Texas State Board needs. And remember, any transcripts that you send in should be sent in electronic format to the State Board's email. Eventually, though, you will get everything you need completed, and you will have an approved application of intent. However, that doesn't mean that you are quite ready to start taking the exam just yet. There are a couple more steps that we need to think about. And as part of thinking about those steps, we do need to look at some of the testing dates for 2024. As most of you probably know, in January of 2024, the CPA exam is going to go through a major change. That change is going to introduce what we now call 3 core exams and a discipline exam that each candidate gets to select. In a normal year, the CPA exams would be available at any point along the calendar year. However, because 2024 is such a year of change, the state boards have all agreed to allow candidates to take exams during specific testing windows. This is allowing them, the testing centers, to refresh exams, and it allows the AICPA and NASBA to review results and make sure everything is working properly. So as you are going through your process of completing these next few steps, you do want to keep these testing dates in mind. So what are these next steps? The next step begins with now completing what's known as the eligibility application. Because the state board has reviewed all of your educational background and other requirements, you are now eligible to start taking the exam. So you will return to the Texas State Board of Public Accountancy's website. You will go to the candidate portal area and log in and select the parts of the exam that you want to take. You do not have to register for all 4 parts of the exam at once, and we actually encourage you to only do 1 or 2 at a time. When you begin the eligibility application, a new window or clock begins. You will have 180 days to complete any CPA exam that you are now selecting. So if you select to take the FAR exam, you would have 180 days to complete that. Now, I'm assuming that you're doing this in 2024. If for some reason you are completing this eligibility application before January of 2024, the eligibility application then and testing will happen in 90 days. So assuming you're doing this in January or later of 2024, any part of the exam that you now complete an eligibility of application for, you will need to complete and test within 180 days. Once the Texas State Board gets your $15 per part and reviews your eligibility application, that usually takes about 3 to 4 days, they forward your information to NASBA, one of those other organizations, the National Association of State Board of Accountancy. This is where you now start to pay the big bucks. Every part of the exam is about $250 at this time. The prices for the exam tend to change, so it could go up or it could go down. But you'll go to the NASBA website, and this is where you will then create another login to a different candidate portal, and you will pay NASBA the fee for the parts of the exam that you had selected. NASBA will then generate for you what's known as a notice to schedule. The notice to schedule is essentially your ticket into the Prometric Testing Center and allows you to take your exam. This is what you will take with you on your actual testing day. A couple of key things. You need to make sure that your name on that notice to schedule matches all of your identification. Make sure that they haven't mixed up your first and last name. Make sure they haven't misspelled it. Or if you have gotten married or changed your name in the interim, you need to work with your state board and with NASBA to get that corrected. Also, double check the scheduling window to make sure you know exactly when your exams expire. And note that if you're taking multiple parts of the exam, you will have multiple notices to schedule. That is fine. Just keep track of which one is which for each exam. All right, you've got your notice to schedule, and that means you can go to the Prometric website now and actually book your exam. Prometric is located all over the U.S. and in some foreign countries. So if you're in Texas today, but let's say you are going to be in Oklahoma for 6 months, you could take your actual CPA exam at a Prometric facility in Oklahoma. It doesn't matter which Prometric facility you use, so long as it is an approved Prometric facility. Now, as you're going to schedule your test, you've got to schedule them early. These testing centers fill up fast. So think about what days of the week you are more likely to want to test. Is that a Friday? Is that a weekend? Is it a morning? Is it an afternoon? You know yourself and you know when you are better to test. You'll go to the Prometric website and schedule your actual exam. It kind of makes it real. Now, Prometric does offer this opportunity to do a, quote, walkthrough of their facility. They're going to charge you to do that, $30 right now. But that lets you see the facility, go through the check-in process, and see what it looks like. And for some of you, that might help put some of your nerves at ease, and it might be a good $30 well spent. Also note that because these testing centers are offering a variety of tests, not just CPA exams, they have anticipated what they believe to be the demand, and allocated a certain number of computers or testing stations to each exam. If you look at it today and you see, oh my gosh, there are no sections available for audit, it doesn't mean that they won't have any. They tend to monitor the demand and open up extra seats as needed. But if you're getting close to when you need to test or when a notice to schedule is expiring, you might need to just decide that you're going to have to go take it in a facility that is a couple hours drive. There is only one Prometric site located in the DFW area at the moment, and so you might be driving to Tyler or to Waco or to Oklahoma City if the date you want to take the exam is not available. I mentioned that candidate bulletin. That candidate bulletin provides you lots of information about rescheduling your exam. Note there are fees. The closer you get to the day you scheduled your test, the more you're going to pay to reschedule it. So make sure you look back through that candidate bulletin and understand all of those particular insights. Now, we're getting ready for you to go through this process. I've said a lot of things. I do want to make you aware of some additional places you can go. I've already mentioned that candidate bulletin. Obviously, the blueprints. This is what the CPA exam is mirrored after, all of the details and information about what is on the exam. The AICPA provides sample tests and also sample exam software. So you've got to go through and make sure you are aware and understanding all of this. And please know that we are here to help you guys as you go through this process. You will be a CPA soon.